Hello, team, and welcome to episode 31 of Creative English 2025. Let the games begin. Team, we have started the greatest, the most amazing, most spectacular sporting event in the language learning year, the GringOlympics. Dun, 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 dun. And team, I hope that you are bringing your A game, expression of the week, because there will be a lot of points on the line today, and the winner will win a fantastic prize that I have not thought about yet, but it'll be something good, I swear. So, team, welcome, and we will have a lot of fun this month. I have a friend, Leko, who insists that August is the worst month of the year, and I'm going to prove him wrong. So, we're already going to start next month with something this amazing, and I'm not a sweets guy, but when I saw this picture right here, this is dessert greatness. With the cookie and the chocolate and that white part of the Oreo, which is the best, and that chocolate underneath, this looks delicious. So if anybody is coming from the US in September, please bring me some, and you will receive 10 points. But we are going to be talking about Confluence, mixes. When you get thing A, you get thing B. You mash them together, and thing AB is even better. So my first question for you guys, what is your favorite guilty pleasure snack? What do I mean by this? When you are in line at the supermarket, kind of bored, you look around and you say, I deserve something delicious. What is it that you pick? For me, it's not chocolate, it's not chips. It is an energy drink, usually Monster. I will never, go with the plan of grabbing a Monster, but when I see it, even if I see a Red Bull, I'll go and get a Monster. They're bigger and more fun. What was your favorite brand collaboration of all time? I used to love when I was a kid when like one cartoon character would show up in another cartoon. Scooby-Doo did this well. They had like the Hanna-Barbera Olympics. Mortal Kombat does this well now with the characters. And which brand collaboration would you like to see in the future? Coca-Cola and the Gringo Minute. You can keep the Cokes, but I would love to see the Monsters and the Cristal water. And team, our grammar point is about that. This mix, compound nouns. And in Portuguese, our descriptions come afterwards. In English, our descriptions come first. And this has led to some interesting word formations. And we have three types of compound nouns, closed, like here, where two words become one. We can have a hyphenated word like this, or we can have a separate word. And actually, I'm going to start with number 3. Because most of these words start like this. I'll give you an example. 20 years ago, Steve Jobs announced the iPhone. And I don't know if it was the first smartphone, but at that time, smartphone, it was 2 words. And then now, 2025, it's just 1 word because smartphone is its own thing. So most of these start like this. They migrate into this 1-word form. Why do some words stay like this? I do not have a 100% concrete answer, but I think it's just when we have many variations. You have the high school, you have elementary school, you have middle school, you have police station, gas station, bus station. And number 2, when it would be weird if to read. Like if I put ice cream as 1 word, like it's a cream, like with that E turning into the S. So I think it might have something to do visually. Like you have living room and dining room, they're separate with these INGs, but then you get bedroom and bathroom, which mix together. So I think it's more about how easy it is to read, but also because we have a lot of words that have many variations. And we get a lot of cool words that have done this Dragon Ball Z fusion into 1 word. Breakfast, and fast in this case does not mean speedy. It means not eating. So when you break your fast, which was the original way to say it, it's about you spent the whole night not eating. You were asleep, probably. And now in the morning, you are having your first meal. You are breaking your fast. Afternoon, noon is 12 p.m. So afternoon, after that point. Now, this is the big one for this class. And I guess we have 3 reasons why we hyphenate nouns. Number 1 is just to make our lives easier when, visually, like mother-in-law. So just by adding these hyphens, you instantly know that you need to read them all together. That's 1. Number 2 is when you had a phrasal verb that gets a noun form. Originally, you would check into the hotel, you would check in at the airport, but then they started having a place for this, the check-in. So it was the place or the time you do this. And they needed a noun form, so they just added this hyphen. And reason number 3 would be when you are taking a noun or a group of words and you're turning them into a description. For example, my daughter is 5 years old, but I could also say that she is a 5-year-old girl, and then 5-year-old would have 2 hyphens to say that you need to read them together. Some other cool words that my students didn't recognize. Self-esteem, what you think about yourself. It can be good or bad. I had some students who thought self-esteem was always good. You can have bad self-esteem. Passerby. So the people who are going by, either walking or by car and kind of looking, the curious people, they are passers-by. And runner-up. This is an interesting one because it's not really useful. But runner-up is the second place. Why is it not useful? Second place is easier. The second runner-up would be the third place. The third runner-up, fourth place. And nowadays, it's the first winner, second winner, third winner. Everybody's a winner. The last winner. But runner-up is the way that we traditionally say it. Now, singular versus plural. In most cases, we will put the S at the end. But sometimes with these compound words, we have a stronger noun earlier. So, for example, mothers-in-law is the correct plural, or passers-by, runners-up. Usually it's when we have these X, not X phrasal verbs, but words with these prepositions. Remember, you are going to add the S to the stronger noun. Last up, pronunciation detail. We have a greenhouse and we have a greenhouse. Blackboard and a blackboard. Sometimes these words sound really similar, and it's subtle, but this pronunciation difference is when you have a thing and a thing being described. So a greenhouse is a house painted green, or maybe they have some solar panels and recycle, or a greenhouse, which is where you keep your plants. A blackboard is just a board that is the color black, while a blackboard is where the teachers write and have that beautiful sound. So some words that are a little bit different, and I'll go over them. I'll go over them for you guys. So we talked about greenhouse. This is a cool one. Every day, this is the one that we use like 90% of the time. I usually see it written like this, incorrectly. And every day would be an adjective. So the everyday traffic is really bad, the normal traffic. Over time, well, the way I pronounce it would actually be this one, but overtime, it's when you get paid extra, or when the teams are tied and you have those extra minutes. And over time would be like, your English is improving over time. So throughout the time. To check out, it can be the verb form of the checkout. It can also be like, check out these books. They're really cool. And the checkout is the place or the time you do this. To log in, the verb. And as a good reference, the separate ones are the verbs, because I might have to say, I logged in, I am logging in, and I would not be able to modify this one. Your login would be maybe your password, your email. Make up. To make up can be either to invent something, like I made up a story, or you can make up after a fight. Anyone, any person. Anyone, any one thing. Pick a book. Any one of these is fine. The backup is the noun. It can be, people think that this is an IT original term. No, I'm guessing that it's from the army. Your backup, the person who would support you, and it can be the backup on the computer. It can be also maybe João's going to the meeting and asks Maria to be his backup in the meeting. And to back up, the verb form also to go in reverse. We use this a lot for cars, like to back up the car. Already, everybody ready? Or I've already been to New York. I've already done something. And this last one, all together now, everybody, all together. Or all together, like as a whole. Like, let's say I go to the beach and it rains the first day, but all together, it was a great trip. So even this one little detail didn't ruin the whole trip. Team your vocab. We talked about bring your A game, bring your best, self-esteem, how you feel about yourself, and sheepish. I think this is a good one. It's when you're caught doing something wrong. So sometimes my students talk about feeling embarrassed, or what's the other one? Embarrassed and Is it guilty? Shame. Because shame is stronger. It's when you really did something wrong. Embarrassed is kind of just and childish. And sheepish would be, I guess, the outward appearance of embarrassment. Our talking point, Confluence, different mixes. Would you try this sensational kiwi pizza? And our game, our first game in the GringOlympics. It is a fan favorite. It was the last one in the 2024 edition. It will be our first one this time. And I think this is a great way to play English. Play English is the correct term here because keeping it light, building that relationship with the language. And you can pick whatever category you want. I gave some examples here. I always recommend the categories that you want to improve in. These are the categories for our GringOlympics. I gave the same categories to all my students, and the letter was S. And I am accepting bribes. Thank you, Miss Cynthia, for this delicious chocolate. And I had never heard of it, and it is amazing. I loved everything about it. So thank you. It had some little bit of a salty taste at the end, kind of a crunchy texture, not too sweet. Really an amazing chocolate. But team, thank you. Miss Cynthia, I will give you this bonus point. I should have given you more, but I wrote one, so it's one. Team, that's it. Welcome to the GringOlympics, and I hope to see you next week in class. Thank you.